everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we will do this question, binary subarray with sum. So we are given an array nums and an integer goal. We need to return the number of non-empty subarrays with the sum goal. So suppose this is the array given and we have goal equal to 2. In this particular array, we have 4 subarrays which have sum equal to 2. Let's understand the question and recognize the pattern. So we are given an array nums and a goal integer. We need to find all the subarrays such that the sum of the subarrays is 2. So we are given a binary array here. We need to return the number of subarrays. So the first possible idea that we can think of is to generate all subarrays. And then for each subarray, calculate the sum. And if we find that the calculated sum is equal to goal, in that case we will count that subarray. So this is the naive solution. So naive solution is simple. We will have a nested loop. We will calculate sum in this particular nested loop. And if we find that sum is equals to goal, we will do count plus plus. And at last, we will return count. So this is the naive solution. We know that we have two particular nested loop which gives us time complexity of order of n square. And we can see space complexity is order of 1 because we are not utilizing extra space. But this is inefficient because it's too slow. With this we will get a TLE in LeetCode. So what we can do to optimize this? So in brute force what we are doing is for every index I, what we are doing is, let's suppose I is this, we are computing sum for next index, that too from scratch. So what we can do instead is we can use prefix sum and we can replace the inner loop with a map. So let's see how we can do it with prefix sum. So for every I, what we are doing is we are calculating the sum nums of I plus 1 till j. Instead what we can do is we can have prefix of a index and then, so this is the key observation here. Now what we will do is we will replace the inner loop. So what we will do is we will replace the inner loop by maintaining a running sum in sum variable, and we will see that sum minus goal, if this particular thing exists in the map, if this we have seen previously, in that case we can say that the subarray exists, and this we will do for every subarray. So what we will have is we will have an unordered map and we will have a sum variable. Initially the map will have 0 and 0 occurrence will be 1, and initially the sum will be 0. So we will have a count variable for our answer, and what we will do is, initially let's say loop is here, we have sum is equals to 1 now. We will find sum minus goal, which is 1 minus 2. Is this existing in the map? No, it's not existing. So we will make an entry of sum which is 1 in the map. So 1 occurrence is 1 time. Now next we will move the loop here. Now the sum is equals to 1 again. Do we have 1 minus 2 in the map? No, we don't have. So what we will do is we will add the sum to map. So 1 occurrence will become 2. Now next we move here. Now the sum becomes 2. So 2 minus goal, which is 2. Does this exist in the map? Yes, because 2 minus 2 is 0 and 0 is there in the map, and 0 frequency is 1. So we will have 1 in our count answer for now. Now next, this will move here and we have sum is 2. 2 minus 2, yes, it was in the map because 0 was in the map. Now we will increment this to 2. Now next, this will move here and the sum will become 3. So sum is now 3. Now what we will see is 3 minus 2 is equals to 1. Is 1 in the map? Yes. How many times? 2 times. So we will add 2 to this count and this will become 4. So we have at last answer as 4. Now let's code this solution. So what we will do is we will have a map for counting occurrence of sum. So what we will have is we will have a sum and its frequency. So this will be the map that we will have. We will have a sum variable and count variable. We will run a loop, let's say from starting to end of nums. So this is the loop, and in loop we will count the running sum. So we will update this particular sum, and in map we will check if sum minus goal, if this exists in the map. If this exists, then we will update the count, we will increment it. If it does not exist, then we will make some entry in the map. So this is the overall thing that we will be doing in the code. So what we will have is we will have an unordered map. We will make entry of 0 in the map. We will have sum is equals to 0 and count is equals to 0. Now we will run a loop. In loop we will have a running sum. And we will check if map has sum minus goal. Then we will update the count. How many times we need to update? The frequency of this particular element in the map. So what we will have is map of. So if the frequency is 2, we will update 2 in the count. And we need to make the entry of sum into the map. This way our code completes and we will return count. So this is the solution. Let's code it on LeetCode. So we will have an unordered map. The map will store the frequency of the sum that has occurred. We will have a sum variable and a count variable. We will loop through the array and we will add element to the sum. So the num is added to the sum here. We will check if sum minus goal exists in the map or not. So if sum minus goal exists in the map, that means we need to increase the count. So the count will be increased by the frequency of that particular element occurrence in the map. At last, we will return the count. Now let's run the solution. The test case are accepted. Let's submit this. So yeah, the solution is submitted. This was the solution. For more such videos, please subscribe to my channel and hit that like button. Thank you.